Hello, Sagittarius, my darlings. Welcome to April and welcome to your reading. Interesting energies out there, so please hold still during the eclipse season. Lots of change happening. It's unsettling a lot of people, and whether that's you or not, it's a great time to find stillness, to buckle down during the storm, and to help other people that are greatly affected by the energy to really find grounding and stability. So, Ankara's had a lot of SOS calls this week. People, I guess, feeling the force of change and the sense of disharmony in their lives, but perhaps not having the nervous system regulation to make the right changes in a slow, deliberate, patient, trusting way. And that is throwing people into chaos and panic. So all the best to all of you out there. Please look after each other. Please look after yourselves. All that self-care stuff. Yeah, eat well, sleep well, take extra rest, surround yourself with supportive individuals, find nourishing things to do, be careful of the media that you're absorbing. And by the end of the week, I think we're going to feel much different. So this is your reading amongst that. And we are in Mercury retrograde, which might just throw the conditions or the collective into a slightly glitchy state. You might find that you're saying things and people aren't actually understanding what you're saying. You might find that all communication might glitch a little bit. So just be deliberate, take it slow, drive to the conditions of the road, and I guess find surrender in it. So if we are in a surrendered state, we are relaxed, we are trusting. Our nervous system is in a regulated, wholesome place, right? Surrender actually relaxes the muscles, relieves the tension in the jaw, realizes we're not in control and we don't have control, and that's okay. And we just go with the river, right? If the river's chaotic, we relax our body and we go with it. If the river is still, we relax our body and go with it, rather than resistance, control, and all of those things. When we feel tension, we actually clench up, which does make everything seem more extreme. So we want to keep the cortisol and the adrenaline at a minimum out of our bodies, and we need to send the signal system that we're safe and we're relaxed, right? Which is all the beautiful things that you need to do to stimulate the vagus nerve. So singing, hot baths, massage, saunas, humming, relaxation, attuning to nature, meditation, sitting in silence, reading, having beautiful, neutral, calm conversations, being vulnerable. All these things send us into a relaxation state and disengages the sympathetic nervous system from going into haywire, which means we can actually solve problems and witness our experience from a place of calm and safety. Now, if you've never known calm and safety in your life, then herein lies your action steps for April. This is incredibly important work. So self-care has all these meanings and interpretations. And I realize I'm taking a tangent, your reading is coming. But to actually get your system out of fight and flight is incredibly important for your mental health and every other part of your health. Even if you're in a toxic fight and flight, which is I'm scared about things happening all the time, I'm anxious and panicky, and I'm stuck in a loop, or you associate fight and flight with feeling good, which is I work all the time, I'm busy, I keep going, I keep going. Either way, your system is stressed. It takes resources, nutrients, your blood, your chi, the micronutrients that your body needs. It's still in stress. Your body doesn't know the difference between I'm going to grind day in, day out for the sake of money, or I'm actually feeling unsafe all the time. It's relatively the same cortisol reaction. So what we're seeing now, particularly through the Ankara portal, is how far we've come away from what a state of calm and safety and relaxation looks like, and what puts people back in that. What stimulates the vagus nerve? What strengthens the parasympathetic nervous system? So what puts us into rest and digest, into safety? Because there's so many people out there, even though their environment seems safe, in their body, they're not comfortable. They are having distressing thoughts, which trigger adrenaline. They're doing too much at once. They're prioritizing their whole lives for the sake of money or status or looking busy. They're not eating nutrient-dense food, and it takes a lot for the body to actually calm down. Now, when this gets chronic, people don't know what calm feels like anymore. There's so much anxiety in the body that that's all they know. And anxiety really is too many emotions stacked in at once, and the body's signal systems are starting to go haywire, right? They're looking for danger everywhere. So we need to kick in those other systems and keep on signaling to the body, you're okay, you're safe, you're well, you're rested, you're relaxed. And for a body that's been in fight and flight their whole life, this is going to feel like something's wrong, like it's too boring, like that sense of safety comes in as is kind of foreign. And they can run from safe relationships, they can run from safe environments because they're so used to being in a fight and flight response, right? And particularly chronic trauma victims and people that have never had stability or healthy relationships, once they find it, it takes a while to adjust. So if there's nothing in your life that brings you a sense of relaxation and calm and peace, then we need to up those actions and bring you back into a regulated state. Incredibly important during times of intense energy, which April is. If you watch any other astrology, I'm not an astrologer, but I am a student of. There is a lot going on in April. But for you, Sagittarius, back to you. I hope that message finds you well. This is what we're looking at for you, my darlings. So, first of all, there is a encouragement towards your intuition. So what are your senses telling you? What are your emotions telling you? What's your intuition telling you? This is not a conscious mind state. This is a beautiful ethereal state. Most people can't make sense of their intuition, and that's the point. Coming from an intuitive place, the work that we do for intuition development is putting someone into a calm, safe state and stillness state so that they can access the doors. So this is everything that Ankara does. People come to us not only to find their guides and to do the shamanic part, but they also come to find stillness so we can open those doors. If they're running around all the time, cortisol, high adrenaline, fight and flight, and they can't sit still, those doors cannot be open. And if they do have an intuitive feed and their guides are talking to them and they are stressed, then the message gets warped, right? So it is about how still and calm and receptive we are. In order to speak to the moon, to speak to our intuitive selves, our higher self, our guides, we do actually need to be still and calm. So Sagittarius, this is your mission this month. How much stillness are you doing? Can you sit still for half an hour? No distractions, no phone, no people's needs, no TV on, not listening to anything. Can you actually sit in silence with yourself and hopefully with nature as well for half an hour a day? Can you do it for an hour? If you're doing it for 5 minutes, let's put it up to 10. If you're not doing it all, we start with 2 minutes. 2 minutes every day. It's most incredible. Whoops. It's most incredible first thing in the morning when the world is quiet too. So from that place, a lot's going to open up for you, but we have to find the stillness, right? From that place, we will have more information and data about how to take actions that align with your emotional and spiritual nourishment. We can find the forces in our life that are sentimental. Going towards a cups orientated life is deciding to break away from the hustle, which is very much a wands, pentacles scenario, and deciding that maybe life is about deep connection, sentiment, being part of a group, actually fitting in somewhere that feels nourishing and taking action towards that. Most people sit in a, I don't fit in, people don't like me, I don't really have community, rather than trying to change the parameters and listen to the intuition and ask the higher self or the guides, where would I actually fit in? And how important is community for me? And do I actively take action aligned with deep connection and investing in relationships and understanding what unconditional love and soul contracts actually means? Or am I complaining about something that's never fit into place and then taking actions aligned with loneliness, isolation, and the self-pity that shows up, right? Loneliness is an invitation back to the self. Doesn't have much to do with who's around you, but who is around you will signal to you your connection to yourself. That's the missing link. You will feel more lonely in a room full of people that don't understand you and aren't the right fit for you than you will at home on your own. But there is nothing more profoundly connecting than you connecting with yourself and your higher self and your intuition. Life-changing. Yeah. So if we can take more action, and it's a night, so this is early action. This is not mastery. It's not the King of Cups, it's the Knight of Cups. So it's early action around what it would mean to value and take action aligned with sentiment and intuition and connection and love and a feeling place. And please honor the place in you that craves that. If you crave it, it means that your body could take more of it. If your body could take more of it, it probably means that it's good for you. And I understand the risk, because here we have the paradox of a very similar picture, don't we? If you can align your action towards sentiment, emotion, caring for people, unconditional love, emotional and spiritual nourishment, a necessary ego death will happen. And it could be as simple as, oh, I get it. I've been going about it all wrong. Oh, I get it. Like, I'm complaining that I don't have people in my life, but I'm not actually doing anything about it. Or I get it. I can't just be the one that shows up in a room full of people. I have to engage. I have to invest. I have to take the risk. I have to initiate. The ego death that's vulnerable. And that's exposing, and that's uncomfortable, but we need that, particularly as people evolve, right? So there's a lot of switched on people in the world. The switched on ones are the ones that do have self-awareness and do think properly about their lives and their problems and do have empathy and do value connection. They're the ones in the room that can read an ego that is blocking connection. They're the ones we're probably more suited to going after and investing in, but they're the ones that can tell if you're lying to yourself. Does this make sense? So we need to disengage the ego. We need to find a place of compassion and vulnerability in order to connect. We need to take actions towards it rather than staying in the ego, negating the intuition, because the intuition will tell you hands down every time like that, is this room suited to me? Is there anyone in this room that I need to find? Is this connection or is this not? Your body will tell you straight up. As soon as you meet with someone's eyes, as soon as you're in their energy field, your intuition will tell you. But if your ego voice is too loud and your nervous system is dysregulated and you're in fight and flight, the monkey mind will be telling you so many things about yourself that you'll block what connection is, right? It's incredibly frustrating sometimes when you're trying to connect with someone and they're blocking themselves because of a fight and flight response. And look, social anxiety and awkwardness is real. It's debilitating for people. But there's also a skill set there that can be nourished. Anyone can learn anything, basically. Our brains are neuroplastic. So if you know you're socially anxious in a room, Who can develop the skills in you so that that doesn't happen more often, so that you actually feel relaxed in a room of people and you can find and network and connect? And what does that actually mean? You will have to go through some shadow work. You will have to go through ego death of, I'm not good at this, right? And you can't just put alcohol on top, because that creates a different problem. The alcohol is a tool to relax the body so you can connect. But we take this too far and the dependency starts. So if we can't be in a room full of other people's energy to find the emotional connection needs that we all have, because we're hardwired for each other, then that is a skill set issue, not just a confidence issue and not a personality defect. It's not, I'm socially anxious, therefore I can never have friends. It's, well, nobody showed me. I never developed the skill set. They didn't teach me at school. My parents weren't great at it. So what do other people do that are confident in a room? What do other people do with communication and speaking to people? How do other people walk into a room? How do I honor my intuition? How do I bring my intuition with me to take more action towards connection that I feel? Because intuition is a feeling sense. If you are governed by the moon, or there's moon themes in your chart, or water themes in your chart, which is what we're talking about, then there is that capacity to feel your way through rather than think your way through. We need the ego death, Sagittarius. You need to be real and honest with yourself, and you need that part of yourself to melt away and dissolve, right? If you don't have it all figured out and you need more intuition and you need more people around you, then guess what? There's a skill set that needs to be developed, right? The beautiful thing about our time now is there's so many beautiful coaches out there. There's so many people putting out free content around confidence, around communication skills, around how to walk into a room, around how to meet someone's eyes, and what people actually read in body language, which says this person feels safe and calm, therefore I'm okay to connect with them. And how do we develop that skill set, right? Be honest with yourself. If you need it, sounds like more connection is coming. Let's get ready. All right, now the shadow card is coming from my Stalk Your Shadow Oracle deck. I'll put the link below. I did create the deck, all the graphics, all the written word, all of the things, and then I found the printers as well. They are a companion. We don't want too much shadow work. We want just enough. So these are based on the animal spirits that I see in my students, either their totem or their power animals, and the part that they can't see is the shadow part. So for you, Sagittarius, we have the crane, number 34. The crane has the ability to lead others in a very graceful way. So the crane isn't afraid of standing out. The crane isn't afraid of doing it differently. The energy of the crane and the shadow is, we know it's uncomfortable to go out there and be yourself, but that's exactly what you need to send signals out for. Be real so that people know who they're connecting with. When I see people socializing, connecting from an insecure state, there's a persona that I'm meeting. And my intuitive brain says, that's not the truth of who they are. I can see something deeper, but they won't let me see it. And possibly because they won't see it themselves. And that can be painful at times. You know, if you show me who you are, you give me an opportunity to love that person. But if you've got a mask on, and that mask is pretending to be a certain way, but I know you're something different, it's very confusing for me to connect. So a lot of the time, my intuition says, I can't find it. I don't feel safe in this, because they're not showing me who they are. There's a facade, and we all do that. That's the ego. The ego says, maybe I'm outgoing, I'm adventurous, I'm talkative, I'm this, and I actually see an incredibly beautifully introvert, deep person that probably longs for their own space. And that's cool. We all need to come out of our own spaces to connect. But the crane says, if you can honor who you are, you can lead others to be the same. So authenticity is the key, and authenticity is walk your talk. If you believe in something, then let's see it. If you are discovering something in yourself, let's hear about it. Be honest with who you are, your weaknesses as well. Usually I'm pretty easy to voice my weaknesses straight out, right? This is who I am. I'm navigating this part of me. It feels really uncomfortable, but have you had any experience in this? Or I'm really working on the part of me that needs to control this aspect of my life. And I hope you can hold me there, and I hope it's okay to hear about it. But the crane does go out there and do it with grace and displays, this is who I am. And others take it or leave it, right? This is the risk. Authenticity asks, if you truly shine and you show us who you are, then people can take it or leave it, and they can use their own intuition, right? But very hard to find real connection with those that are lying to themselves when the ego is in control, when they're incredibly anxious in a situation. You can usually see beyond that. But for us to purely connect with like-hearted people, we need to work on how calm and safe we feel within ourselves, and then go out there with that place. So interesting work for you this month, Sagittarius. I hope that really helps. Or please comment below if you have some interesting reflections, or you want to ask some questions, or just some confirmations. That's great too. Like and subscribe if you're resonating, and I will see you next month. Love you. Bye.